Hey everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the potential leak for Sims 4 University expansion pack that potentially is coming out. Now I say potentially, allegedly, I'm going to be using a lot of these terms in this video because nothing is confirmed. I know Pixelade, YouTuber Pixelade, has been making a lot of videos and Twitter posts saying it's confirmed, and not to throw him under the bus because he's not the only one. He's just the first one I saw doing it. A lot of Pixelate and a lot of other YouTubers are like, it's confirmed. And I'm like, well, is it? And I'm gonna get into that in a minute. Why I'm like, maybe, maybe not. As well as I want to talk about kind of what if we are getting this pack, what I would like to see from it. I kind of have two versions I want to talk about. The version I know we will not get, but that I want. And then the version I think it's possible that I want. Oh. I'm just going to close that tab. Anyway, so Cupid Little Grass Blade is allegedly, I don't follow their Twitter, I don't know them personally, allegedly is a employee at Target, and they had tweeted this image, and what it says here is Sims 4 Episode 8. I think expansion pack, I don't know why I say episode, this isn't Star Wars. Sims 4 expansion pack 8, Discover University. And then it says street date 11/15, and then it has the code number there, the 207280070. So this image here is what's been going around Twitter. Pixelade retweeted it, Pixelade used it in their video, and Pixelade talked about how they used to work at Target, and they said that they know a little bit about the system and how it works, so they went and called a few different Targets and gave them that number there. I don't know what it's specifically called, if it's a bin number. Oh no, wait, that's something we do with insurance. Anyway, so Pixelate gave the Target employees over the phone that number, and they were able to verify that it was a product, but that it was not in stock. They weren't able to say what it was, and that's, from what I understand, that's pretty standard. You can call with the item number, I think that's what it's called, and they can search it and they can tell you when it's going to be in stock next or when it's set to release, but I don't think they're really allowed to tell you what it is. I don't want to say that this is confirmed that we are for sure getting University and that we are getting it on November 15th. If it is, very excited that it's very soon. The reason I don't want to say this has been true or confirmed or not is, for one, the Sims team hasn't come forward yet saying yes, this is happening. Two, there's a possibility that this could be a doctored image, meaning someone who works at Target, who plays a Sim, who maybe just wants a little clout out there on Twitter, not claiming that they want this. I'm just saying, this is purely speculative. What I'm saying here, I do not know the person who tweeted this. I cannot speak to their character. But I'm saying, potentially, maybe they wanted some clout, wanted, to get them retweets, wanted to get mentioned in a Sims video. So they sent this out, maybe doctored the image a bit, maybe changed what it said on top. Maybe it isn't a Sims item. Maybe they're boots or something that are meant to be released in November. And part of the reason I'm questioning what it is solely because from what I understand, when you call and give them that number, yes, they can tell you that it's when it's going to be in stock next, but they can't tell you what it is. So I'm kind of like, well, it could be anything then. It really could just be someone, just playing a prank, or someone who really wants some retweets, some likes. Like I said, I'm not saying it's for sure. I also don't want to demonize this person. I don't know them. So I'm trying not to be too speculative on their character, because that's not my place to kind of step in. Rather, I'm just kind of offering a potential second narrative here. I see a lot of people just like very blindly saying, yes, this is The Sims, and being like making videos saying it's been confirmed, which I understand, clickbait. But I'm just gonna say now, I I'm not questioning, like I fully believe that it is university, but I am not gonna make that claim. I'm not gonna die on that hill saying yes, this is university. Now, let's talk a little bit about this image because, okay, EP8 expansion pack 8, it would be the 8th expansion pack if I know how to count. I'm gonna trust that I know how to count, but if I don't, just let me know in the comments. As well as Discover University. That's a very interesting name. And what I'm wondering is, there's a good chance maybe this product doesn't have a name yet. That could be a holder. As well as that could be one of the taglines. Little Simsy talked about this a little in her video, how there are, for each expansion pack, there's kind of like little blurbs, key features, if you will. Like Island Living Home was like, sit by the beach and relax. This could be one of them. Discover University. Or that could be the name of the pack. If it's the name of the pack, I'm a little like, ooh, that's... I don't think it's awful. It definitely doesn't roll off the tongue as well as it kind of breaks certain patterns in The Sims. Not that there's too many patterns. Like when you think we have the base game, then we have Get to Work and Get Together. Then after that, you have Cats and Dogs, Strangerville, Island Living, Realm of Magic. Like there really isn't too much of a system in the naming. Like it kind of felt like there was with the Get to Work, Get Together. But as we see here, that's... And I've heard some people say, oh, maybe it'll be called Get to College, Get to University. I'm like... So now I want to discuss what this pack might be. And first I'll talk about what I want it to be, but what I know it won't be. And then what I want it to be and think it potentially could be. So number one, on that side, is what I would like is I would like it to be not a university pack specifically, which is why I'm a little like Discover College. I'm like, ooh, that, or Discover University. I'm like, ooh, that kind of blows my first dream out of the water. And that's what I wanted it to be, an overall education pack. I wanted it to flesh out high school, elementary school for kids and teens, as well as give us university. I do think that's a little much asking for, because The Sims 4 seems to be more of a quality over quantity. For example, like in The Sims 3, we had like the Supernaturals pack, and none of the Supernaturals were that in depth. We just kind of all got them at once, and it was a quantity over quality. Sims 4 seems to be more quality over quantity. And I understand that's very annoying for some people, and then some people don't think the quality is quite up to par. I don't want to get into that discussion right now. That deserves its own video. But I've definitely always felt like The Sims 4 is more quality over quantity. For example, vampires are so fleshed out in The Sims 4. Same are spellcasters, as well as even aliens and ghosts, which didn't really have their own specific pack. They're a lot more in-depth than anything in its past iterations, so that's definitely something I'm very think a lot about. As well as, it's not just that, we got cats and dogs instead of like overall pets, and sometimes I get mad because I'm like, I want birds, but I'm also like, it makes sense that they would focus so much on, because now we have, I think, a really great pack about cats and dogs that really makes sense. They feel very thought out. There's a lot of aspects with gameplay with your pets that I don't think really existed in any former Sims game. And that's just how I've always felt about The Sims 4, is, like I said, I don't want to talk about whether or not the quality is always up to par, but I generally think The Sims 4 quality is a little bit more than The Sims 3, and The Sims 3 gave us a lot, but it really wasn't in depth. I feel like someone in the comments is gonna get mad because I know some people love The Sims 3. They think it's the best in the franchise, and I'm over here like, uninstall and yeet. I kind of wanted this to be a quantity over quality kind of pack, I guess, which I'm glad it's not. I definitely do think it's going to only focus on university, so we won't be getting that, which kind of upsets me because I really wanted also teacher careers at the elementary and high school and college professor level. I definitely think we could still get that within this pack. It definitely makes me feel like elementary and high school teacher career would then be like a rabbit hole, which some people like rabbit hole careers. I kind of don't. I kind of prefer the ones that you can go to work and play around. Not everyone wants to go to work because most of us work 40 hours a week like me, and you feel drained. Anyways, some other things I wanted. I really wanted a very in-depth world, like I said, with an elementary, high school, and college, which doesn't really make sense. You should not put any of those near each other. Like maybe an elementary and high school can be within walking distance of each other, but they should not be next to a college. That is no thanks. So now let's talk about what I think it will be. Kind of like what I want it to be, but in a more realistic thing. And it's probably going to be a strictly university, strictly college experience, which I'm fine with. In The Sims 3, you generally had to stop auto-aging, if I remember correctly, to really play with the university pack, because the way aging worked, it was just a mess. It ruined your game. It didn't work out well. So, and that's something I don't want to have to happen. I would definitely like it to be able to coexist within the rest of your game. That you can maybe send your kid off to college and then they like come back and time has moved forward. Another thing I would like from it is I would like it to kind of follow the career settings, the career UI, if that makes sense. Definitely more interactive one than a rabbit hole. But I would like you to be able to go to class, be able, kind of like in how you get there is maybe you can pick it through career options, like I want to be a student. I think that could be very fun. I think that could work out well. And you can, from there, you kind of, maybe you can choose what major you want to be, or maybe the game could suggest a major based on what your skills are and what your Sims like kind of like aspiration is. I definitely think that could be interesting. But I definitely want it to be kind of like a career in the sense that you like there's a time where it ends in the day, you can do other things and it doesn't take up all the space that it did in The Sims 3, if that makes sense. With that said, on that note, I also want there to be a little bit more options with the living quarters. So in The Sims 3, you had two dorm rooms, and then like a sorority and a fraternity, if I remember correctly. Those are definitely things I want, but I definitely want the option of maybe being able to live at home and commute. Be able to rent an apartment, maybe within that world. There could be like an apartment building that students and adults like could kind of live in. And the reason I want this is, for one, just to make it a little bit more realistic, a little bit more relatable to most people. Not everyone has the chance to live on campus. Some people can live on campus, but not for the full 4 years if they're at a 4-year or more university, as well as some people just don't want to live on campus, but also some people also live on campus for the full 4 years or however long they're there. So that's definitely something I would like to explore, as well as I'm not sure how it would work if you're living on the dorms, if you would still be considered part of your family, or if you would just have to go back into manage households and add them when they finish and graduate. Which leads me to my next thing. I want graduations and other ceremonies and like on campus events. So yeah, to me, graduation, that'd be very fun. You finished college. There's a little ceremony. It could be maybe just like a little. I'm not sure how they would work it into the game, because I know like a lot of like the holiday systems as they work now, they're like they happen at a specific time. They're like on the calendar and they rotate every year. It could be like that because that's kind of how graduation works. And maybe if your sim has completed enough classes or credits, you can, um, you know, decide yes, I would like to graduate. Or maybe when you finish your maybe there'll be a new aspiration with it, like college degree or I don't know, some kind of education under knowledge, some kind of degree related, finishing your degree. So then when you finish your degree, or even if it's in a career, ooh, that would be better if it's in a career, and once you finish the whole career, compared to most like I'm saying it's like a career, but it's not a career. It's its own thing. It's just copying or mimicking what we do with careers in The Sims 4, where you reach kind of like the highest level. It could be maybe four promotion levels, if you will, rather than like as some other ones have like eight or whatever, or more even. So you just like you do the four promotions, if you will, and then you graduate. And it could be once you finish it, you graduate then, or there could be kind of like a ceremony on the calendar. That one I'd be fine with, but I can also understand that might be a little harder. Uh, graduations are also one of the things where I'm like I could survive without, but they would be fun. But that also leads to I want things to do on campus. In The Sims 3, there were things like sorority parties and like keggers and stuff, which like exist at college, but there's a lot more. There's also on campus events and parties, um, as well as there's, and by that I mean like sometimes they're run by student groups, like if you're part of a club, or sometimes like student government will put on events. I was on student government and I helped plan all sorts of kind of little events at my college. So they always had events around certain holidays, like they had Halloween bingo, some kind of like Christmas things in December, Valentine things. So like there's definitely room for a lot of fun activities that could be done on campus. They could definitely tie in with the current holidays. But yeah, so those are kind of some of the things I'm looking for. Like I said, I also want classes to be attendable. Like you can maybe decide like, yes, I would like to follow my sim to class, or you can maybe opt out of it and just like send them alone, kind of with how like a lot of the playable careers are. I also want there to be effects on whether or not you do your homework and whether or not you finish these kind of goals within each day. And I don't want to just be like, oh, today you only received a B. I wanted to kind of like accumulate, and kind of at the end of the semester when you have your midterms, I want that to kind of play in a role. Like it could be like, this is how ready you are for your final. You are 100% ready. You are 90% ready. You're 50% ready. Like I want there to be kind of like consequences for what happens. So now let's talk about what I want for the world. So I want there to be standard buildings. They don't have to be editable. It would be fun if the classrooms were, but they don't have to be. I'm not gonna cry if like they're not. Especially also if they decide to make it kind of a rabbit hole career style venture, then I'd be fine also with not being able to edit the lot, or even enter it. It could just be a building that they walk into and boom, they go to class. Like I said, I would prefer interactive, but if it's not going to be interactive, then I don't care what the school looks like. But if it is, then I want the ability to edit it. I could definitely see issues that might arise, especially if there's coding involved. So we'll see. as well as I would like within the world. So I want there to be like the main campus, where you go to take all your classes, and then I want there to be sorority and fraternity housing, dorm living, and then also like apartments that like just that almost anyone can live in. The sorority houses I want to be fully editable. I want to be able to knock them down and rebuild them. They don't have to be, yeah. I just want to be able to do whatever I want with them. I want the dorm rooms in The Sims 3. We had way too much freedom with, and I want them to be a little bit more like the apartment system, where you have kind of a space that you move into, and you can't change the size of the space, but you can decorate it how you want. And I want you to be able to either decide if you have a roommate or if you have a single. That could be decided on the size of the room, and it could state like this is a 2-person room, this is a 1-person room, and you could edit it as that. I definitely would like you to have the option to either decide who your roommate is, or if you could just, pick any rando. I would like you to be able to either opt in to picking a roommate or opt out and just be placed with an NPC, a townie, whatever. And then the apartment buildings that I want for just about anyone can live there, because I want there to be like crazy teens, and then I also want there to be like maybe like some old dude who lives there, because I think that could be funny. Now I'm trying to decide if I have any final thoughts or wishes for this pack, but not really. I'm very excited for it, and I know some people in the community are really excited for it because they are already or they're very disappointed with Realm of Magic. I haven't really done an official review of it yet, but I'm really loving it. I'm fine with waiting until November 15th for the new pack, because I'm going to be playing with this one for a while. But anyways, leave a comment, make sure to like and subscribe, as well as make sure to check out some of my other content. That'd be very, very helpful. As well as also recently on Instagram, I reached 100 followers for my Simstagram account, which is funny because I still have not reached like 100 on here, but that's okay. I'm not too upset about it, but I'm very happy that I did reach 100 on Instagram, so make sure to go check out my Instagram if you haven't, as well as feel free to check out my art history channel. I always have it linked down below. I don't have as much content on there as I do on this channel, and that's just how it is. But who knows? Maybe you want to hear me talk about art history. Who knows? Anyways, I'll see you next time.